that was overkill. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. This is Sam Prentice back once again live streaming. Can you believe it? Making things happen as per usual. My guest today is very well known as the Grand Old Duke of Fusion. He's known worldwide as Mr. Bedelli. What else have I got written down here? He's a man whose weapons of choice is his mouse. Click, click. And with a few clicks, a new droid is born. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a sort of droid Jesus. Please welcome the Messiah, Mr. Michael Badley.
Sam, what a brilliant introduction! I think you'll
like that.
I need to pay you to introduce me every time. Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, yeah,
cool.
You know, that was a few minutes of creative writing. You know, that's the way it goes.
Just basked in that. You know, it was like a little bath of warmth. So thank you.
Nice,
for
isn't
that.
it?
Mr. Prentice, how are you anyway?
Oh man, you know, it's been a stressful day today, I must say. You know, I don't ever claim that I know everything about everything, and although you might think I do, I don't. 3D printing, yeah, I'm kind of okay with that, but when it comes down to things like RC training with servos and sorting all that kind of stuff out, I needed to call in an expert. So thankfully, Mr. R2D2 himself, Mr. Lee Towersey, came around to my house today, and we got the droid working, and it's spiffing. It's very, very good. And I'm super, super stoked about it. There's a few things I still need to do, but we were also tuning up the ALT droid to go to TCT on Monday, and that is dead in the water at the moment because of a programming issue and cabling issue. So I'm having to resolder some stuff. It may or may not be there, but the new XL droid will certainly be there. And yeah, I'm kind of good to go. I'm you know, it's been a stressful couple of days, and I knew this was going to happen. This always happens with any of these kinds of builds where you feel like you're coasting along, and I'm literally like, I've got to print a few more things. I've got this to do. I've got that to do. And then I ran out of channels on the RC controller. So yeah, I mean, just a few minutes ago, before I mopped my brow in a very British way, I was, sweating quite profusely as I wanted to get things ready and rumbling for tonight's live stream.
You did set yourself quite a challenge, to be honest, to get this done in the time frames, ready for TCT, both from a design perspective, a print perspective, tweaking and getting rid of all of the little nuances and things that need fixing. So to get it where you've got it, where it's rolling, it's moving, it's fantastic, I think.
Definitely, and it's great. It really is great, and I'm super stoked about it. And it's an awesome little robot. So shall I switch it on? Should we?
Oh God, yeah. Come on, let me see.
Let's do it. Okay, so there are a couple of things I'm still working on.
Moving.
Yeah, no worries. So there's a couple of things I've got to work on at the moment. So the faceplate, Michael's has made this awesome little servo controller where the thing blinks. And there's also a little twiddly bit on the front, like a little sensor. And there's also the ear bit that I'm still working on at the moment, but it is all assembled and it is all together. So what I'll do is I'll just switch the cameras over to here, and I'll wake him up. Wakey, wakey. There he is. So here he is. This is TDO XL or Edison. And he is doing incredibly well at the moment. And we've got the head tilt now. We've got the left and right. We've got the head tilt working quite nicely. Now, what I was saying about the eyelids, if I manage to find the right button, as you can see at the moment, he only opens a certain amount. So I'm going to, at the top here, what it's doing is it's fouling ever so slightly on the top brim. So I might get the Dremel on that. I probably will get the Dremel on that tomorrow and measure that out a little bit better. Let's just try and find the closing switch for that, and I'll just give him a little spin around. So you'll notice there's a little bit of tape on the back here as well, which is just here.
Oh yeah, that's a
feature. I can thankfully remove. Yeah, it was a nice feature. Now what you'll see on the back here is when we were printing this particular head on the CR10S5, I had a slight issue because I don't think in the history of me 3D printing I've actually printed anything this tall. Because usually it's things like domes and stuff like that, right? So what happened was I had a fail, I think, at 97%. So then Michael, thankfully, we worked very hard on getting this cap mechanism. So hopefully you can kind of half see that. But there's a sort of cap on the back of this now. And I think it sets it off quite nicely. But
quite nice, actually. I like that.
It's pretty damn good. And it rolls really, really nicely. And it's quiet as well. The TPU tracks are absolutely amazing, and I'm really, really chuffed with how it's come out. I had a few challenges, as I've said, but there's an LED panel to go in the bottom here. There's a few LEDs to go in the top here. And I'm kind of guessing this is a homage to Chopper. This is going to be kind of Chopper-esque LED lights that's going to go into here and maybe do a Knight Rider style.
I think it worked really well. If you had 3 little Chopper lights going in opposite unison, so 2 on the outside and 1 in the middle going, that would work. Originally, I was thinking of a speaker as well in there, so that you could.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I've got a wireless speaker in there, and I am currently working on some sounds, which thankfully you gave me the sitting down old man sound the other day.
Yes,
which I'm really nice.
Concerned to hear the final effects. It did sound a little bit dodgy, though, Sam.
Man, I tell you what, some of them did sound slightly orgasmic. I'm not going to lie. It's it's certainly getting there. But when we first set out to make this droid, and we were talking about this, that head tilt, just that little bit of head tilt. Now I've got this dialed right back at the moment because I was worried that it was going to start smashing around. And what you'll find is certainly with some of the cheaper radios, I'm not using a cheap radio, but some of the cheaper radios will, smash the head up and down. And after 3 days worth of printing on this particular head, I really didn't want that to start causing an issue. But as I say, there's a couple of things here that don't work yet, but they certainly will by the end. There's a little, what do you want to describe this as? A little hollow, I guess?
Yeah, a little hollow projector, yeah. But it kind of goes in and out, doesn't it? It's on a single print screw mechanism, I think. So.
That's it. And then also we have an aerial, a bit like the original T-Do, where this is going to twitch and move around as well. So that is kind of where we're at with that at the moment. So I'm dead chuffed. I mean, we're nearly there. Let's try and not crash it into myself. I think the batteries are getting really low in this as well because we've been working on this pretty much all day, trying to get things out. But just to give you a perspective there, that's T-Do down there on the floor. Yeah. And I mean, what's the size difference on this? Did you scale this up at any point?
No, I didn't. I started with the tracks and then scaled it proportionately to tracks. So I can't quite remember. I think it's around about just over 4 times larger than the original T-Do. But I think it comes in at just under 3 foot, about 2.5, 3 foot. I think it is.
Cool. Well, you're absolutely right. So today, myself and Lee, we spent some time resorting this out. So this has got a tilt mechanism on it. So the head and the left and right head motions are very much to do with these elements on here now. Okay. So there's a new pot that's been installed on that, which is very, very cool. What else have we got here? We've got some people joining us. Hello, Carl. Hello, Tim. Hello. Who have we got? Ryan. I don't know some of these people. Matt, how you doing, Ryan? Another Matt. SPC 3D. Hope you're well, guys. So we are heading towards TCT. He's rocking backwards and forwards now. You got to see this. And the reason for that, of course, is because the batteries are literally about to die. So it's probably going to be wise for me to
nodding off to
for a second. Do you want to whip up Fusion just for a second?
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, let me just.
Thanks, Carl.
The screen. Let's see.
There we go. Fusion. Hello, Adam. Hope you're well.
Yeah. Don't know. Can we see Fusion?
We can. Here we go. There we go.
Excellent. Yeah. So behind the scenes, this is kind of what's going on with those eyelids. It's quite interesting because I know this was a real quick design job ready so that you could print and get it ready for the TCT one. So originally, and I think the bit that you're talking about, Sam, is let's see if I can just pull a bit of a sectional analysis here. So the bit you're talking about is the eyelid actually crashes into the actual head frame here.
It does. What I've done is I've shaved part of that back because you sort of had to. And
so on the files that I'm doing now, I've actually trimmed this headpiece back so that it won't do that. But I think what you've had to do is manually cut that back or Dremel that back so that you don't have any rubbing on there. I think
that's the one, mate. That is the one. But I mean, like I say, it works like a dream. It really does off of the robot. But again, it's a lot of this stuff is going to be dry fitting it first and messing around with it and, making that a functional part. So this robot, as we move forward with that, we are potentially going to be using or suggesting to use the Cytron controllers,
Yeah.
which are I think they go up to 32 amp, don't they? Is that right?
I think is it 40? Is it 32 or 40 amp? I know they're quite
one or
chunky.
the other. I think it's one or the other, but it's
quite nice.
You know, it's quite a beefy from 7 volts up to 30 or 40, as you say. Now I'm running this at 12 volt using a tracer battery, a single tracer battery, which obviously is flat at the moment, which is why we're getting the twitches. On my controller, there is an add-on that you can get to also measure the battery voltage, which is something I might look to invest in if I'm taking this out and about, just so I can keep an eye on that a little bit. So this is a Polymaker print. Everything that's been printed on this has been sponsored by Polymaker, so thank you very much to those guys, and also to the UK connection, which is 3D Filler Print. All those guys have supplied all the prints for all the printing material for this. And I've had polycarbonate, I've had PLA, PETG, TPU, and there's been various types of TPU, the 90 and the 95 for this particular build. And that part on the front, that was another mission as well.
This bit?
No. The plate behind it. For some reason, For some reason, I had to scale that down ever so slightly.
I guess the plate behind there that holds the servo.
No, that's absolutely fine. The plate that goes right on the front where it covers the eye.
Oh, okay, yeah. You have to scale it down.
That is on there now.
That was this piece here, wasn't it?
That's it. Yeah, that's the one. So I have had not many, but 1 or 2 comments back about the track system.
Yeah.
So I thought it might be quite amusing to speak about that very quickly. Now, I love the design. I don't care if it isn't tank track ready. And I kind of like, when I was looking at it, it's kind of like one of those things where wouldn't it be cool if it actually went down flat and drove like a tank, and then the head came forward and, almost like a transformer, kind of changed into something else. But I really like the fact that it's on its point. And it works and drives incredibly well. I haven't had it tip over, and I gave it the beans when I was going up and down my driveway. Really thrashed it to death to try and get it to do something, because part of this is, when you're testing a robot that no one's ever built before, how easy is it going to fall over? Is it going to be like a Robin Reliant and literally tip over? And you can wheel spin it, you can direct stop it, and it will give a little bit of undulation. But now the head's on it, I don't really want to be smashing it around too quickly, which is why we've scaled back the whole mechanism, the whole movement of the head now. What was the point basically when you went back to Tidu? What was the idea of that?
Well, I'll cover the tracks first of all, because the original, I mean, as you know, it's some concept art, which I love the idea of the tracks going right up to the shoulders. But what it means is that your whole drive system can sit in the body, and the motors and servos can sit in the shoulders. So in fact, you can have as thinner tracks as you like going out to the front. So running it on wheels or trying to put the motors actually in the legs was never the original design. The idea was that you could on the original Tido, we've got these servos that fit in the shoulders, and then what they did is drive the tracks, and then you were not tied into trying to squeeze tiny motors near the feet or anything like that. What we've found with doing the big Tido is we've been able to fit the scooter motors actually almost in the feet, and that's given us more stability because it put the weight down there. It's also given us slightly wider tracks, which gives us a bit more traction. And it's quite a feisty little drive system, I've got to say. And if you start to thrash it around a little bit, it can move at some pace. So it's fascinating to see it, because I've built the drive system before. I've just not actually put it together on the Tido side, because I've had it running on AL. It's the same one as I run the ALT drives on.
Yeah, and it is very quick.
The other part that I was, I'm absolutely delighted with is the head mechanism. I mean, this, watching it move there was fantastic. But what I'm really pleased with this is both the turn of the neck is in there with the servo. So it's a real self-contained unit. You can strap this onto anything. It turns there. We've got all the tilt. Putting these little metal bars into these flex pieces was a big problem solving for me, because originally I put quite complicated, all sorts of flex, solid flex, whereas I thought actually I'll just print a single flex piece and put a metal bar in there, and it gives us this what is a very, very, very solid head mechanism. So I'd expect to see this head mechanism again. I think it's great. The head mechanism can also be used upside down, which is the other thing. I mean, this can sit on the neck, so there's various uses for that I've got that I quite like. I've also been thinking about scaling this down for some of the smaller ones that we've seen. So I'm really pleased with how that came out. The eye mechanism was interesting, which I think is the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The challenge was that I wanted to make it fairly simple. So there's a single servo at the back.
Let me make you big, darling. Let me make you big.
Let me make it big. Thank you.
Bear with me.
Okay. Press the button. Make it. That's made yourself big.
So,
as always.
That's the story of my life. Story of my life.
Yes, I've heard. I know. Yeah. So there's a single servo in there. This one's just got pins sticking through, and what it does is it drives this arm out and in. Now I don't know if you've seen, but there's a bolt that goes both. It holds it together, but also holds this bar that's coming in and out. It keeps it solid. Originally, it was going back and it would wobble when the eyes were open. So the eyelids would kind of go like that. So that's I've made some tweaks on there. I think there is a couple of other tweaks that I can make to make this smoother, which I will do when I release the files. But the what you've shown works quite well. And then, of course, you've got this kind of nice mechanism. I can't do the bottom one because it's actually on the servo. But, the mechanism works quite well. The challenge I think you're facing is this lid here is rubbing against that top piece. So
yeah, and it's only a corner because I can feel that going up. So it's going to be a case of whipping the head off. Again, we've got magnets on the top, so you can actually take the top plate off.
Yeah.
And there's 4 screws. The whole head then comes off, and then obviously you can work inside of that as and when you wish to.
So yes. The other thing is the servo movement on the servo doesn't fully open the eyes.
No,
I don't know if you've seen that because it's designed. I think it's designed for a 180 servo, and I ended up using
90s
slightly less, which I think was a 120. Which kind of gives you that kind of movement. So again, if I was some of the tweaks I'm thinking is to use the MG92, which is a slightly torquier servo, so it's got a little bit of extra strength, and then just readjust some of this gearing a little bit so that it clearly opens the eyes fully, and then you can do more of a blink mechanism. But lots and lots of opportunities for character. I'm really pleased that you went on for the to challenge to get that full 360 movement, because seeing it now, it adds a complete new dimension to the character, doesn't it? In the way that
it does, and by the time we've tuned this in, that it will be considerably more. I mean, we dialed it right back because I was just unhappy with it. When you're working on a mech, the last thing that you want is for it to twitch out. So when you reset these things, and we've binded the radio a few times, because essentially when you switch these things on, you do get a tiny little twitch. But on Tidu, on the cheap controllers, you actually get the head smashing into the body. And I was very keen not to literally obliterate the whole entire head and smash things apart before it even got into TCT. So, if it happens then, awesome. Hi, Jerry. Hope you're well. If it happens then so be it. But, I think it's going to be a nice little droid. I am going to be. And so weird things happen this week. I got a phone call from Dan from Slice Engineering, who a lot of this was printed with Slice parts. And he's invited me to the Slice stand at TCT. And I don't know the stand information, but I'm picking them up from the airport as well, dropping them at the NEC on Monday, and I'm staying up there until Thursday. So that's where I'm going to be. And you're there on the Tuesday, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to be there all day Tuesday. I'll probably loiter around the Slice Engineering one, just from a distance, and to see what's going on. No, I'm quite looking forward to it. To be honest, it's a great event, and I've been in previous years, and you always see something new or something that's a little bit interesting. And I think we've got yourselves there. I think Matt Denton's there, Lee's there. There's quite a few guys. So it'd be nice to pop round and to see everybody. Along
Yeah,
with
Lee Towsey's not there,
is
but
Lee
I
not there?
imagine,
Okay.
I imagine Tim will probably be going. I don't know. Matt
Okay.
Denton's on the E3D stand with James Bruton.
James is there, isn't he, as well?
That's it. Yeah, so James Bruton's going to be
Bruton,
having his robot dog. Matt Denton's got his Lego go kart, and we've got this. So happy days. I don't.
Sorry, Sam. What's the status with bring your own droid along? Are we allowed to or not? So I know you said there's some health and safety things. I was just going to bring the little speeder with me, actually.
Yeah. So I'll know more about that on Monday.
Okay.
But what happened is, normally at this particular venue, as you know, we normally do Comic-Con there. So it's the NEC, it's a big Birmingham one. We normally do one at the XL in London, and we do one up at the NEC in Birmingham, which is arguably probably the bigger event. And I just thought I could just rock up with a robot, go in like the normal crowd. Here I am with my robot. Hi guys, And so I reached out to TCT and I was like, look, I'm looking to do this. I just want to make sure there's no kind of, weirdness about this. Some bloke rocking up with his robot. I mean, how does that sound? And yeah, there were some serious issues with me doing that, and not in a bad way, because they were really sweet and really kind and really nice. And they were going to allocate me space, and they were going to do all the things that needed to be done in order to get my equipment there and stuff like that. And they were. So I've written method statements, risk assessments. I've had to submit all kinds of information. There's a COVID thing you've got to do as well, and it goes into the extremities of how is this safety tested. You've got to remember, they don't understand anything to do with robotics. They are literally putting an event on, and it just so happens 3D printing. What the mechanical side of robotics, you can't. They don't want these things running down the aisles. They've got to be in a secure location. They can be moving around and stuff, but it's got to be in a particular area. So that being the case, I'll know more on Monday, and I'll update my Facebook and I'll ping you a message. And if anybody does want to bring something, they might just want to consider that. And certainly with Comic-Cons and things like that, if you're bringing any weapons or anything that looks a little bit fierce, they do like to try and check these things. So I'm kind of imagine that you've got to remember this isn't for like geeks and nerds so much. It's more about professional networking. And I think, I think it's easy to forget and remember the stuff you do with Comic-Con and, not actually think about your professional heads on here. And Slice are going, yeah, we want you on the stand. Can you help us out? We've got a spare place for you. And, they've been really, really sweet as well. Super, super sweet. So really appreciate, shout out to Dan from Slice Engineering on that one. And yeah, they're a top company, and I love the products, and I'm deeply excited to be part of that whole thing as well. And it's great. It really is great. So
it's brilliant. Yeah, I was thinking of, as I said, the little pit droid speeder, which in my eyes is just a small toy. It can't destroy people in the same way that if Henderson went on a rampage, it could probably do a little bit of damage. So
totally.
So, but
it's one of those things. With Comic-Cons, I can certainly comment on that because we know it. Whereas a trade show like this, you might get complaints. I don't know. I think they just want an easy life. Now, obviously, I run a recycling business. Now, they have had RWM, which is a recycling show there, and apparently it wasn't very busy at all. So I don't know how busy this event is going to be. But I'm certainly going to get plenty of footage. I'm going to try and live stream from the event. Hopefully, Slice have got a broadband or Wi-Fi link there that I can stream from. I'm bringing all my gear down there, and I'm certainly intending on getting some interviews and stuff. Now, Joseph Bruce is going to be there as well, right? Your buddy.
Should be. Yeah.
So the big
he certainly was there last year, I think, or the year before. So
yeah. So the big news is, I own a Prusa.
About bloody time, Samuel. About bloody time.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting it through its paces. It should be here, I think, on Friday. So when I get back,
excellent.
I'll have a Prusa to, or is it Prusa or Prussia?
Prusa it is. Prusa
it is. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I have one of those coming, and I've got a Longer. Have you ever heard of those guys? Longer are sending me a 3D printer as well. And there are a bunch of people that are doing some stuff. So the content is going to keep rolling out. I'm reviewing at the moment the Artillery Hornet. I've got a really, really good stream coming up, which is about a scam that's going on with Facebook and Amazon. And I got stung by it, sort of accidentally on purpose, in order to try and make some content through it. And it spiraled into this whole big thing, and it's very, very exciting. And I'm looking forward to talking about it and interviewing the people that have also been scammed. And yeah, it's really, really cool. And then also towards the end of the year, I am giving away 2 3D printers. They're probably going to be Anycubic Vipers, and that's going to be to my subscribers only. So I'm trying to hit the 5,000 subscribers before December, or by December, and that'll be the Christmas present. I'll buy the printer, and Anycubic will be shipping it to you. So all you need to do is hit that subscribe button and be part of the magic that is my channel. Happy days.
Magic Sam Printers.
So Mike, what's next? We've done this, or we're doing this, should I say? You know, this is nearly there. We've probably got what we'd probably do with this in order to end this as a final stream. I would say we would probably do something at TCT. We do a bit of recording. Yep. We do some stuff for that. We have a chat about it. We talk to Creality, as they're going to be there. We talk to Slice as well and see what they make of the droids and all that kind of craziness. And I do have a little droid for Slice Engineering as well. So that's one of the little mini T-Doos. Managed to get a bunch of parts for that. The little Twitch is now gone. I had to swap out some equipment for that, but it's gone now, so that's great. So that's going to be the final part of that. But what is next?
What's next? Well, it depends. I mean, I've got obviously, as you've seen, the Sandcrawler, the enormity of that. So I don't know if you can hear printers in the background, but they're just printing the final door mechanism. I've got parts in my hand actually, which are all part of that. So that's finished. Effectively, the design's finished. It just needs the files finishing off. The Edison, I've got there are a few little tweaks like we've talked around, which but effectively that one's coming out very, very shortly. I am doing something as I sort of hinted at around the head mechanism. I'm going to turn it upside down and use it in another one.
Awesome.
But the other thing I think that we really want to explore is bigger and stronger drive units, where we've talked around actually moving living, breathing carbon life forms on some form of mechanism, particularly with scooter drivers. So I know we've shared some ideas on that, Sam, so I think we watch the space on that one. And then you've also started to explore the concept of homicidal droids, which I've got to say sounds a little bit dangerous. So shooting, fighting, fire breathing, dancing, lunatic.
Yeah, I think the term was, hi David, the term was weaponized robots, I think.
Weaponized robots, yeah.
Now you've got to take yourself away from Star Wars, take yourself away from Astromechs and the health and safety element, and potentially make something that might burn you or maim you in some way.
We're talking the Colin Furs of droid building.
Kind of. You know, something a bit exciting, a bit eccentric, a bit out there, where certainly TCT wouldn't allow you to be fire-breathing droids or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
You know, pinch of salt there, of course, but you know, something along those lines where it could be a little bit kind of dangerous to. You know, one of those things where you kind of got to install something and then quickly walk away. You know, something like that.
Don't try this at home kind of builds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right,
okay.
Exactly right.
Okay.
And it might be, you know, it might be one of those things where actually you put something together. Maybe you have a tilt mechanism that activates something, so it's away from you, and then that's when the flames start, or whatever. You know, something along those lines. And you know, as you alluded to as well, we're looking at the possibility, and we already have potential sponsorship or 2 forms of sponsorship in line for this, a ride-on 3D printed something, which could be quite interesting. And there are people I've been talking to about this are quite interested in doing something along those lines. So if we can get it done, if we can get the sponsorship deals in, then awesome. If not, then, you know, we'll see what happens. We'll watch this space. But you know, part and parcel of this.
What's it called? Zorbing, where you used to get inside a large inflatable ball and throw yourself off the edge of a.
This is kind of like hamster wheel territory. The hamster wheel video for people. Yeah.
I'd like to get Sam Prentice in some sort of circular thing that rolls down hills. I think
Well,
I
we'll
can
wait and
see you
see.
as a crash test dummy. So
We'll see what happens with that one. But anyway, guys, if there is anything you'd like to see or you'd like to kind of in the backs of your minds that might pique our interest, let us know, because it's certainly been interesting doing this particular thing. After this, so after TCT's done, I then go back into the Halloween show stuff. So I'll be doing all the Halloween stuff on the house. Then after that, I've got the Rat Rig 500 to finish off building. The 400 is done. I've got a Octopus Pro board on its way to me, apparently, and that takes 40 volts. 40 volts. No,
40
sorry, 60
volts.
60 volts. 60 volts. 60 volts into a 3D printing motherboard. That's beginning to be quite scary, I think. So, yeah, it's all going to end in tears. Yeah, it might do, Adam. We'll see what happens. But part and parcel to that whole drive system, the particular people saying, hey, well, what's the point in it? Well, it leads on to other things, right? Because other things have led on to this, and whatever comes next might be, even more interesting. I'm sort of thinking a bucket load of TPU being thrown onto something. It's
the beauty of it is 7-8 years ago when we started doing this, there was nothing out there of any size and scale. It was little tiny printed things, and the challenge has always been constantly that you can't do this on 3D printing. You can't 3D print a full R2D2. It will never cope with the stresses. You can't 3D print drives. You can't 3D print mechanisms. And so all of that, you've just constantly pushed the boundaries. And you can't 3D print something that you can put Sam Prentice in and roll him down a hill. We'll go up for these kind of challenges. We'll go up for these challenges. You might not survive, Sam, but, ultimately, we've got to try that. Because even if you don't survive, what you'll get is more subscribers. What could you want?
Exactly right. And I think it's all about having some sort of cause, isn't it? You've got to do it for the cause. Yeah. That's the whole idea of it all. But yeah, so after that, obviously, Bruce is coming in. I've got a bunch of other stuff that I want to try and work on and finish. The 500's got to be finished. Then I'm going to take a little bit of downtime, just a little bit. And then I think the droid building show will be coming back as we sort of head into winter with Jerry and Tripod. What was that just went across your screen?
Did you see that? Did you see that?
That was like a
I
ghost.
Can't tell you, it was secret. It was secret. No, it's a bloody fly. For some reason, it literally crawled across the camera like that in a scary way.
Freaky.
It's a preparation for Halloween. I know you mentioned it, but these are some of the spooky happenings that's going to happen in the next 3 weeks, leading up to your Halloween extravaganza, I'm guessing.
For a second, I did think it was a Dementor, but, hey, it's all good. If you guys have, we're doing a live show here, mainly because we had no time to edit a video down and do this the long way. If you guys have got any questions, comments, and what's this? Mr. B it's a 3D printed fly. Yes, there you go.
Yes.
3D printed fly. Amazing.
Exactly.
But yeah, a couple of people I just want to quickly thank. Obviously, Michael Badley, thank you very much for working towards this and making this a reality. Lee Towsey today for coming in and breaking a droid and also making this work as well. Do appreciate your hard work and efforts on that. Obviously, Slice Engineering for the hot end and apparatus. Rat Rig, obviously, for their Rat Rig awesome V-Core printer. Polymaker, E3D. No, not E3D. Who am I thinking? That's a completely different wrong person. 3D Filler Print. There's so many names out there, isn't there? It just goes into a quandary of all sorts of craziness. And we'll be at TCT. Hello, Marcel.
TCT.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, beautiful people.
Wow. Look at that. Tripods Garage. Look at that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So there you go. Anything else you want to show us? Anything else you're working on, Michael?
No, nothing else I can show you, I don't think. That's immediately to hand, but there will be. There's some interesting stuff. Once these printers in the background, I don't know if you can hear them whizzing away, but I've got 3 at the moment that are kicking out some stuff that I'm playing with, so we can perhaps share that next time. Awesome.
Well, I think that's it then, unless you want to show us any more Fusion.
No, but I have been doing the Fusion lessons. I don't know if you've seen those. We did 4 Fusion basic ones, and what's been amazing is the stuff that people have been designing off the back of it. There's one of the guys has done an absolutely fantastic gonk. There's been some kind of superb other builds and designs that people are now doing, and that's the beauty, I guess, of sharing everything that we do. That then more and more people that grab into this hobby and start to design their own things. So the world is going to be taken over by 3D printing soon, I think.
Amazing. So where are we with the flying droid?
What, the flying droid? Well, you've seen the flying pit droid, haven't you? I think.
Yeah.
Which is outstanding. I've actually got a drone,
Right.
which I'm playing with. I'm looking at some of the custom built drones again, just to see, out of curiosity, how they go together, how you build these things with the intention that things might be added to them. I've got to say, Halloween's a good opportunity for flying stuff, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't not do something with that kind of equipment. But there you go. That's it. That's the end of it, I guess.
Fabulous.
Well, thank you so much for joining me.
I think.
Yes, you will see me on Tuesday. Guys, hope you're having a fantastic day. And I'm going to, hopefully, if I can find the right button, play the outro, which was also the intro. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.